go.
Okay, hi everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Then I guess we're ready to begin our 2020 awards celebration. Hello everyone and welcome to the 2020 Volunteer Appreciation event. I think most of you know me. I'm Jo Shantz, the Executive Director of the Library Foundation. It's kind of hard to believe, but I've been here for more than 5 years now. These have been wonderful years, challenging years. This year especially has been quite a bit different than what we've been used to. But overall, we've had a lot of fun. We've made a lot of headway, fundraising, meeting new donors, engaging new volunteers, and so much has happened during the past 5 years. This is also the 5th year that JCLF by itself has produced a special volunteer appreciation event. But unfortunately, this year we have to do this in a very different way. No luncheon, no picnic, no in-person get-togethers. As you all know, we had to close down our office in our warehouse on March 15th due to COVID-19. And during that time, my staff worked remotely. We had to say goodbye temporarily to our wonderful volunteers. And I was the only person who was in the office for several months. And I gotta tell you, it was lonely. I missed our great staff. I missed all our terrific volunteers. And what I really missed were the dogs. They add so much, and I really did miss them. As of July 1st, the Jefferson County Library Foundation is back in action. We have staff back in the office and in the warehouse. We have a limited number of volunteers who join us each day, always being aware of social distancing and wearing masks, washing hands, all that good stuff. And the number of donations that we're receiving Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is through the roof. Right now we have 22 pallets of books sitting in a semi-trailer parked at Vandermeer Speedway. We have another 20 pallets in our warehouse ready to be stored off-site, and those donations from the public and from the library just keep rolling in. You'll be pleased to know that in order to help us move this huge inventory, we are planning a pop-up tent sale at the Brass Armadillo Antique Mall on August 20th and 21st. The tent will be set up in the grassy area in front of the Brass Armadillo, and we will be asking some of our great volunteers to help us with setup, sales, and takedown during that time frame. This will be the first used book sale that we have had so far this year, so it's quite a proud milestone for us. I've also had volunteers ask me if we are having a fall Whale of a Used book sale. As you know, this sale is traditionally held the third weekend in October, and this year we are planning to host the sale once again, but with some serious modifications, both in compliance with state and county health regulations and to guard against the spread of COVID-19. As plans unfold, we will stay in touch, and we will be asking our volunteers for their help in producing this annual used book sale event. And on top of all this good news, I'm delighted to tell you that our friends Gift and Bookshop in the Belmar Library is scheduled to reopen in late August. Yay! So we will be so happy to welcome back this dedicated team of volunteers that keeps the shop up and running. We've missed you, and we'll be very glad to welcome each of you back to the new shop, which is now located right next to the library's front entrance and the return book drop. This site is bound to bring us better recognition and sales, and we're very grateful to JCLF for giving us this, JCPL for giving us this very special space to benefit our foundation. As you know, today is the day we set aside to honor and recognize all our terrific volunteers and to thank them for all they do to help our foundation and the library. And I'm so pleased that so many of you are here with us. I see your smiling faces, and I wish we could meet in person. I'll point out that we have a big crowd today, even through virtual means, and I thank you so much for joining us. Along with our volunteers, I also want to recognize our staff members who are present. Susan Spring, our Marcom and office coordinator, waving in the corner. Neil Thorison, our warehouse coordinator. And Kirsten Craig, our volunteer and friends coordinator. Yay, Kirsten. Allison Lawston, our bookkeeper, was unable to join us today, but she's also a part of our team. I also want to acknowledge our board members who are present. Deborah Deal. Deb, you want to wave? Yay. Donna Walker. Sally Reed. Ana Rojas Artica. Linda Fleming. And Kirby Edwards. Thank you for being here. Before we move on to our awards and our honorees, I want to introduce our JCLF board president, Ana Rojas Artica, who would like to say a few words. Ana?
Thank you, Joe. Each year, the Jefferson County Library Foundation takes time to honor our special volunteers because, as you know, our foundation simply couldn't run without them. You are faithful volunteers and you help us in so many ways. By collecting donations at our warehouse, where you also sort and box up books for our Whale of a Used book sales and for our holiday sales. You provide outstanding customer service for our generous book donors. You help to scan books, CDs, and DVDs, which we then sell to our book sale vendor. Maybe you are one of the dedicated volunteers who assist us at the Friends Gift and Bookshop in the Belmar Library. We also hear such wonderful compliments about this little shop, the wide selection of books that are always available for sale and at such reasonable prices, the dazzling array of gift items, including jewelry, scarves, eyeglasses, coasters, finger puppets, and more. Above all, we hear from the patrons of the gift shop and how they appreciate you, the helpful and cheerful volunteers who staff the shop. When we produce our special fundraising events, such as our tea parties, beer tasting, author presentation, and gala dinners, teams of our good volunteers help us with logistics by collecting door prizes and auction prizes on our behalf and by assisting with setup, guest relations, and decorations. As you already know, many of our volunteers are also members of the Friends of the Library, a membership organization that helps support the foundation efforts through their membership dollars as well as through their own volunteer efforts. We are grateful to this organization and helping us in our mission to provide fundraising and advocacy for Jefferson County Library. I can't forget to mention our board of directors. This group of community residents represents many fields of business and they come to us ready to learn and to lead our Jefferson County Library Foundation. They represent the realms of finance, real estate, nonprofits, travel, construction, marketing, and sales. Together, they help guide Jefferson County Library Foundation as the foundation continues to grow and change with the times. They assist us in our fundraising efforts and they help us make valuable connections through the county and the metro area. Our board members are tremendous advocates for our cause, and we are grateful to them for serving on the board. I want to share with you our outstanding numbers from our recent 2019 audit. Last year's volunteer support amounted to a whopping 10,128 total hours. On top of that, these volunteer hours are valued at $257,549, according to the independent sector, which values volunteer service at a rate of $25.43 per hour. We couldn't do all that we do without our friends of the library and our dedicated teams of volunteers. Please know that JCLF, we are always very appreciative of your support. Please join me, everyone, in applauding each of you and all of you. You are amazing individuals. Thank you. Yay. Cheers. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Ana. Very well said. Thanks so much. At this time, I also want to introduce the Executive Director of Jefferson County Public Library, Donna Walker, who wants to say a few words. Donna, I'll turn the microphone to you.
Thanks, Joe.
Virtual microphone.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I love it. Good morning. Good to see faces. It's so good to see faces. Wish we could be in person. and just wanted to reiterate some of what Joe and Anna have said. Thank you to our volunteers for the foundation, and recognizing the board as well as the work of the foundation board is work of volunteers. That's hard work and good work. The word that's been coming up for me this week around JCPL and JCLF and our volunteers and our staff has been the word steadfast. So thank you for your steadfastness. I would just like to say that. Thank you for your advocacy, your loyalty, your commitment. These are, it really says a lot that volunteers have stayed with the organization as things are in this space of uncertainty. So I and the library that I represent are very grateful for your time and your talents, those gifts that you give every day, or will be giving again soon if you're not able to be volunteering right now. There's, as I remind people who haven't lived as long as I have, this is just temporary. This too shall pass, and we'll all be together again soon. And we're looking forward to what's next with our foundation and with our volunteers and all the great support that you give to the library. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Donna. Well said, well said. Yay. Right now, I'm going to turn to Susan Spring, our Marcom and Office Coordinator. She has put together a brief video that she would like to share with us at this time. So Susan, take it away.
Okay. When Joe asked me to put this together a couple days ago, I was like, yay, what a wonderful way to celebrate our wonderful volunteers. You make, I know, my life easier and everybody in the office's life easier, and really do appreciate you. If you don't see your photo, it was not for lack of trying. I just maybe don't have it. If you want to send it to me, I can definitely add it onto this, and I'll have this posted online at some point. So just give me a second while I get it going, and I hope you enjoy.
Super, yay, thank you so much. That was nicely done. Thanks, Susan. Wonderful. Throwback to some of our previous activities, our Friends Annual Meeting, previous picnics where we've all been able to get together, and other events, whale sales, holiday sales. That was super. That was a nice review. Thank you very much for doing that. So right now, I would like to announce the winners of this year's awards. There are 3 awards that we traditionally bestow on select volunteers to honor them for outstanding service and to let them know how much we value their work on our behalf. I'll start with the Volunteer of the Year Award. Our 2020 Volunteer of the Year Award recipient began volunteering at the Spring 2013 Whale of Use book sale. He has set up, cleaned up, and everything in between, and he often works every day of the sale. But his largest contribution was as the loading dock crew chief, envisioning the A, B, and C method of sorting those pallets. This scheme reduced the setup time required for each sale by an entire day, so that was huge. He can be found boxing and sorting donations in our warehouse on a weekly basis, except during ski season, and he also rarely misses a holiday sale. Recently, he has become an active community advocate for the Library Foundation, attending County Commissioner and Jeffco Fairgrounds meetings to represent our interests and to keep us informed. He also serves as a wonderful sounding board for any new fundraising ideas, and he's a jack of all trades handyman. We are so grateful to have his skills and his talents at our disposal. Congratulations, Ron Pro.
Yay.
Unfortunately, Ron could not join us today, but we will get this award to him next week. Thank you again, Ron. Moving along, our 2020 Volunteer Leadership Service Award recipient began volunteering at the 2016 Fall Whale Sale, and he hasn't slowed down since. He is happy and willing to fill in wherever he's needed, and he has worked as a door guard and cashiering crew chief. He has done setup, tear down, parking lot, traffic control, and he's worked in Bert's Weathered and Treasured. But he has truly excelled at helping people to their cars with their newly purchased treasures. And he always chats up our shoppers, making them feel appreciated and hopefully converting them to lifelong lovers of the library and patrons of our book sales in the process. In addition to the whale sale, he also volunteers at our March Madness and holiday sales, and he has facilitated much needed donations from Home Depot. He is also the current vice chair of the Friends Council. This individual's gregarious and infectious attitude are a most welcome addition to the foundation. Congratulations, Doug Pratt.
Hey, Doug.
Yay.
Thank you very much.
Doug, do you want to say anything?
Well, I love dealing with all you people, interacting with the library. I mean, I just came from Columbine just before this meeting. I just had to get over there and get my fix of being in the library and interacting with the librarians and seeing what I could do. So thank you, and it's been great working with all of you.
Good. Well, thank you so much for everything you do to support us. We truly appreciate it. Last but not least, the 2020 Elena Joyce Grissom Lifetime Achievement Award recipient has been volunteering her time at the foundation since the 2005 baby whale sale. That was a long time ago. She too has worked every possible job at the whale sales, including serving as a crew chief. She's also volunteered at many March Madness and holiday sales and is frequently found at the warehouse scanning and sorting. The Belmar gift shop would have a difficult time functioning without her tireless efforts. In addition to her regular weekly shift, she also steps in as a last-minute substitute whenever we need a shift covered. She's also currently serving on the Friends Council. But you probably know her best as the gift basket queen. She spends countless hours devising creative themes for the popular holiday gift baskets. She shops all year long for the unique books, puzzles, games, Beanie Babies, gift cards, and candy that fills each of those baskets. People have even begun to request specially curated themes. This volunteer has truly touched and contributed to our organization in so many ways over the years. It is my great honor to award the Lifetime Achievement Award to Mickey Lytle. Congratulations, Mickey.
Wow.
Want to say a few words, Mickey?
Oh, just thank you. I'm overwhelmed. I love what I do and I love all you guys. So it's pretty easy. So to get an award for what you love, fantastic. Thanks.
Super. Well, we will get these awards to the recipients just as quickly as we can. We're sorry we can't hand them to you directly here in person, but we have them here and they are gorgeous and we are honored to present those to these outstanding volunteers. So a round of applause again. Thank you to all of these honorees. Right now it is prize drawing time and I'm going to turn to Kirsten Craig, our volunteer and friends coordinator, to draw the winning names. Kirsten.
Kirsten's not here at the moment.
Where did Kirsten go? Kirsten has run off with the door prizes.
Oh, no.
For the names.
While we wait, does anybody have anything that they would like to say? Any of our volunteers, would you like to say anything about maybe what you're doing at the warehouse or gift shop or?
Oh, whoops, I need two more.
Tracy, you and Joe, anything?
No.
Everyone's so quiet. You're usually so chatty when you're here. Linda Larson, what about you?
Sorry, here I am. I had to generate the numbers.
Okay. Well, once again, we're back to prize drawing time. So
All right.
take it away, Kirsten.
So we have 5 gift cards. We have 3 $25 gift cards. We have Target, Amazon, and Starbucks, and we have 2 $100 gift certificates to 240 Union. We will start with Amazon. The winner of Amazon is, oh, and this is kind of funny, Mickey Lytle. Hey.
Man, thanks.
So let me write that down so I don't forget. The Starbucks gift card winner is Sherry Olin.
Yay, Sherry.
The Target gift card winner is Chris Fletcher.
Oh, thank
Yay,
you.
Chris.
Thank you very much.
The 240 Union first gift certificate, $100, is Tim O'Neill.
Whoa, yay, Tim.
Gail will be
And the-
delighted.
What?
Gail will be delighted.
She won't have to cook.
And the last recipient of our 240 Union $100 gift certificate is Joe and Tracy Sargent.
Yay!
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, again, we will get those gift cards and gift certificates out to you either by mail or you can pick them up here. If you come in and wear a mask, we will let you receive your prizes. I also want to point out we have a couple more board members who have joined us. We've got Neil Brown and Ron Marquez. So welcome. We're glad you could join us for this this celebration event. So thank you very much. Again, I'll open it up for anybody who wants to say anything. Maybe you want to talk about your experiences here or how long you've been volunteering with us. We'd love to hear from you if you have anything to say at this time. And I will also open it up to question and answer. I know that, you know, times are different for us. I hope I've covered a little bit of the territory and some of the plans that we have in mind for the rest of this year. Of course, you know, it all depends on COVID. So we're just taking it day by day. Certainly Donna can speak to this. And maybe Donna, you want to talk a little bit about the library's reopening.
Do you want me to start there? I mean,
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, sure. Yes, we are slowly. I'm glad we took a slow approach because things didn't turn out quite the way we thought. We thought we'd kind of flatten the curve and then keep going down, and things are looking a little bit different. So we opened 4 of our libraries to the public last week with very limited capacity. And then this week we're opening 2 more. We have opened Edgewater and the other one, Arvada. So, and then next week we'll have Evergreen. So last week we opened Golden, Stanley Lake, Lakewater, and Lakewood and Columbine. So yes, can't remember who said they went to Columbine, but yay. Hopefully you felt safe there and taken care of. Next week we will open Evergreen and Belmar. So Belmar, we're going to start allowing the public in. We can't have a grand opening, so we're planning some special ways to acknowledge that renovation and all the work and taxpayer dollars that went into that. So we have a rollback plan if we need a rollback plan, but we're going to continue our curbside service for people who aren't able to come in, and our online offerings, and expanding our mail delivery as well. Just trying to get serve as many people in as many ways as possible. You know, there's just a different level of risk and comfort for everybody. And also we want to keep our staff and our community safe and healthy. So that's been our approach, and I'm pretty proud of our approach. And I can't wait for you to see the gift shop at Belmar. It's beautiful. Social distancing is going to be hard in there though. So you might need to go look at it. Well, I mean, it's a nice space, but when you think about how much room you want to keep between people, so I'm eager for people to see that July 29th, because the date's set. If things, I don't want to say if things don't get worse, but I kind of have to say if things don't get worse.
So do you have any idea when a grand opening type of event might happen, or everything just depends on COVID?
Yeah, we might do some things like a big shebang in 2021, as
Okay.
it looks like through the end of the year, in-person events look iffy. So we'll have some other ways that we acknowledge the work that's gone, the work and donations that have gone into that. We just kind of finalized that plan yesterday afternoon. Had to get to the point of accepting that there wasn't going to be a party.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I was at Columbine the morning that it opened. And I mean, I'm there for the books and stuff. I've been, using libraries for years. But the one thing I forgot about, and that surprised me that morning, is how large of a group of people who were coming in because they had no computer access and hadn't had any since this started, and were headed right to the computer so they could get, some of their business done that they weren't. So you had a very large group of happy people that were able to get to those computers that morning.
Wow. So as far as computer use, I'm understanding that's you have to get a reservation, and then you can only use the computers for 60 minutes at a time. Is that right, Donna?
It depends. At the bigger libraries, we have reservations, and then at the other libraries, you can do walk-in, because if we did reservations, there might not be some available for walk-in. And we're also, you have a 60-minute limit, but if no one's waiting, we are letting people stay longer. That when I was at Lakewood the other morning, someone had come in. We have special hours at 9 o'clock. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday for vulnerable populations, and someone had come in at 9, and at 11 she was leaving and she needed to use the computer, as you say, Doug, and she said, "You don't know how much we needed computers." I'm like, well, we did know, but we couldn't let people in by law. So we are not all libraries who are open are actually allowing people to use the computers. It takes extra cleaning. As soon as someone leaves, we go, clean them off, but we definitely are allowing extra time and walk-ins whenever we can. It's been quite a difficulty for people to not have that access.
So even though the libraries are open, then are you still providing curbside service as well, or?
Yes. So it's very labor-intensive service. So people are wondering how their tax dollars are being spent. All of this is very labor-intensive. And our staff are getting like 15,000 steps a day. The ones who are running the curbside, they're literally like running. So we're keeping both, because not everybody can come in or wants to come in. So
Yeah,
we're going to keep that going for indefinitely.
So are any of your library volunteers then helping with curbside service, or are you allowing any volunteers in at all?
What a great question, Joe. It's like I planted that or something. What we are thinking is that next we will, that would be a great job for the volunteers to run the books. Right now, what we're hearing from most of our volunteers is they're not comfortable yet with that public interaction. So as volunteers become available, we would have them do that.
I haven't been inside a library yet, so I was wondering if you've done anything like one way in the aisles or plexiglass or limiting the number of people inside the library. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, sure thing. Yes and yes. And so we have plexiglass at all the service desks. And we have our staff everybody's of course wearing masks, which we did even without the executive order. And by the current order, we're considered an indoor venue is what libraries are considered. We can be at 50% capacity, but what and not including staff, but what we've done is an extra safety measure. We feel like people count on the library to be safe. We're doing half of the 50% and we're including staff. So the numbers right now are pretty low, but we felt in terms of staff comfort and also community comfort, we wanted to start with that lower number, see how much room people had, and then once we have things going a little bit, we'll probably up that number. So right now we don't really need the one-way aisles, and any location that can have an separate in and separate out, we are doing that with, you know, arrows on the floor and the markers on the floor. And all the upholstered furniture has been removed because we can't clean that safely. So the libraries look very different. We have a cute little video on the website if you look, where it kind of shows all the differences when you come in the library, how different it is. Same smiling staff, just can't see the smile under the mask. So hopefully if you ever have an experience where you feel like things aren't safe, boy, sure, let us know.
Are kiddies allowed in too?
Yes, the kids. Yeah, and what we found for the staff is kids don't have that sense about, you know, they just want to come right next to you. So staff are learning kind of how to say, you stand here, and then I'll help you while I stand here. Or you stand on this sticker we put on the floor, and kind of making it a game a little bit.
That's good.
Yeah.
Donna, it's Tim O'Neill. Has curbside gotten pretty good traffic and participation?
Yes, I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but we have hundreds of people, especially at our busier libraries. And then once the library opens to the public, and we had heard this from other libraries in the state and the country, about half of our curbside then comes inside and half stay with the curbside.
Has there been any testing of staff people at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so our staff, before anyone who works for the library is allowed to go on site, they have a symptom list they have to go through. You have to take your temperature, and, you know, Jo has similar safety requirements for her staff, and then do this whole list of symptoms and every time a new symptom is identified, that symptom gets added to our list. We aren't requiring that of our customers or, you know, the patrons who come in. Did you ask two questions, Tim? I just remembered the.
No.
Oh, and then staff, if they get, so yeah, so, you know, we have a lot of younger people who work for us, not to blame younger people right now, but right now they are transmitting the virus at a higher rate. So when they have symptoms, they go get tested, and they stay home until they get their test results. And we have really strict protocols, just super strict protocols from public health, and our staff are, if they can't come in during that time, they're still paid. So some places, you know, they weren't getting paid, so they'd come in anyway, or their job was at risk. Well, we don't do that. If someone doesn't feel good, we don't want them to come in, and
does the library get to follow its own opening and procedural guidelines, or do you have to adhere to what the county mandates?
Well, we always, it depends on what the current public health order is. So we always, you know, that's the law. And so we follow that, and sometimes we take the next level of precaution. For example, we decided we were going to require masks before the county did and before the state did. So Dr. Johnson, I email with him at least once a week around what we're doing. When we did our curbside, we gave them our plan to review to be sure we were meeting all the requirements of public health. Sometimes we tell them what we find out, like the quarantining of library materials isn't something that public health or the state was really paying attention to. So we took, all of the libraries in Colorado took a really super safe stance around that in the beginning, and then there's an independent lab doing testing on library materials, and that's where we came up with that 3-day quarantine. It's way different. They don't teach this in library school.
Well, and as everyone maybe knows, we are quarantining all of the donations that come from the public. We have that pod that's out in our parking lot that our landlord has generously allowed us to place there, but that's where we're quarantining all of those books, CDs, DVDs, what have you. And then after they've been in there for 72 hours, we move those over to the warehouse where it's safe for our staff and volunteers to sort through and box those. So we're following the similar protocols that the library has been doing. So Donna and I converse frequently about what the protocols are and any changes. And so we work hard to stay on top of everything and keep our employees and volunteers as safe as possible.
I really appreciate the details. I really do. This is a segue. When I call to order a book, I wish the representative would give the first name. Boulder does that. It makes it a little less tenuous. She has my card, she has my name, and she would just agree with her first name.
Okay.
Thank you for that feedback.
Thank you.
I hadn't noticed that. I've done customer service all my career, and I always say my name. Sometimes even at home, I answer as if I'm, hi, this is Donna, how can I help you? So I'll check into that. Thank you.
Too. And when I've asked, there's just a little like, why should I ask? It just makes it friendlier. And I thank you. I need to slip out. Finally got the landscape people here after 3 months. So excuse me. And thank you. I'm looking forward to the new volunteer dates. I'm coming out.
Yay.
Thank you all. Have good day. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I wonder, Donna, if you could talk about the future of the Belmar Holds locker and vending machine. I thought that was such a great touch. And so would you talk about that?
Sure. Yes, that was exciting for us, and we are moving it now to South Jefferson County, to the Foothills Park and Rec Center. Once the Belmar Library gets open to the public. We have heard from people how much they liked it. We have some money in our budget for some more of that. We were intending to put it where we didn't have a library right now. So I actually have it on my list to talk to somebody about next week. Some of you know Julianne, just to see what are we going to do, because that 24/7 holds pickup, even just the lockers, is something. Maybe I don't want to make any promises, but maybe we'd still be able to at least keep that at Belmar. It was a test, libraries did this vending before and it didn't really take, but this has taken pretty well in our community. So it seems like a good investment.
I have Tim O'Neill again. I have a couple of comments. One, a couple about the awards. Volunteer Ron Pro. I would certainly second that. Ron has been foursquare, not only volunteering, but with ideas and suggestions, leadership, more than willing to give of his time. He's very generous and willing to pitch in, has been for years, wherever needed. Excellent volunteer, but more than that, a terrific person. And the lifetime achievement, the most visible thing that I see from Mickey and sales are the baskets. They've been a wonderful adjunct. It surprised me a little bit, but Mickey, with help from Sandy Kramer, does an outstanding job with those baskets, just as one little item that she does. And my other comment concerns Joe. When the foundation closed down, it didn't for Joe. She was there practically every day working on grants trying to find places for sales, trying to figure out if we could have events for the rest of the year. And I just want to say thank you, Joe. You just worked your butt off.
I wish that were true. It's still pretty big, but, but thank you anyway.
5 years goes by quickly, doesn't it?
It does. It's been a kind of a wild ride. That's for sure. But it's been fun. I've loved it. Any other questions or comments from anybody? And if not, we will say goodbye to this year's 2020 Volunteer Appreciation Virtual event. And again, just thanking everybody who joined us. Any final comments or?
This is Kay. I just wanted to say thank you. I think we should thank Susan. She kept everything going through all of this, and I really appreciate Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
Hey, Susan.
And Joe, just to all of you who are volunteers, I know you hear the phrase all the time, we couldn't do it without you. And it happens so many times that it almost sounds like a trivial throwaway phrase. For those of us who are on the foundation board, though, we get reminded almost every meeting that we have as we go through the agenda that if volunteers weren't here, this wouldn't happen. If volunteers weren't here, this wouldn't happen. And we just want you to know, at least from the board, it is not a throwaway phrase for us. It is really a phrase of appreciation and honor, because we would be in a world of hurt if you weren't there doing what you do. And so I just want you to know that for the board, wow, we realize this every meeting that we do and everything that we take on. So a super thank you again.
Well said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said. Just one more time on behalf of the board, and thank you, volunteers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As Neil said, we couldn't do it without you, and we truly, truly appreciate you. And also Joe and Donna and Susan, you all work so hard with us. And thank you to all of you. I think this group effort is so amazing that we have such a big group and that everybody's there. And when I go to events and I try to stop by and talk to the volunteers, everybody is in such a good mood. Everybody's so happy to be doing what they're doing. And I always think, gosh, I wish we could teach this to our younger generation to be happy at work. Because, nowadays you go and nobody's happy anymore, But again, to our volunteers, thank you. You represent us so well. And we truly, truly appreciate all your efforts. Matt, Joe, the rest of the board, thank you so much for supporting us all the time. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for joining us today. We hope that next year we can have a real event instead of a virtual event, and be able to see you and hug you and thank you in person. But again, thank you for everything you do for us, my board especially, my staff. Just everybody works together so well, and I couldn't do anything without your support. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much. And I think we're done.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining us.
everybody. Susan, thank you.
You bet. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.